Hi there, my name is Miss Maisie. I'm a teen librarian with the Naperville Public Library. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a super simple Papercraft Boba tea. Boba tea, of course, is everyone's favorite summer treat, and this particular Papercraft is one of my very favorites if you're new to doing Papercraft because it's super easy to do and very intuitive. For supplies, you'll need a template that's already made. So these ones are from jujusprinkles.com. They're just printed onto cardstock. You'll need a base, that's the kind with these bubbles here, as well as a straw. You'll need the top or the bottom part of your lid. And you'll need that top dome part of your lid. The nice thing about Juju Sprinkles is they have gone ahead and labeled what each piece is, so it's a little bit easier to figure out what you've got. Also with supplies, you'll need school glue, as well as a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife. If you're using an X-Acto knife, make sure you're using it with parental permission and parental supervision, as well as with a cutting board. To get started, you'll just cut out the different pieces of your pattern. Just cut along the lines there. You don't want to cut outside lines. You really want to line it up with the edge of the pattern as best as you can. One thing you'll see a lot with these is that it'll have this little dotted line. You're going to cut all the way to the edge of that dotted line, just all the way. So I found when working on this that, you'll have a lot of these little tiny cutouts throughout the various patterns. Something I found easiest is to kind of cut the large shape out first, and then once you have the cut along those larger lines, then you can go back and cut in, these little divots, just to kind of make your life easier, make it a little more streamlined as you cut. It can be a lot of cutting, so you can absolutely cut just one section at a time. So this, for instance, is going to be the bottom of my domed lid for my boba. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold along these lines. So you're just gonna fold it as flat as you can get it. Fold it over and do the same thing. And we're just gonna fold all the way around this shape. Now that you've got it folded, you're going to go ahead and take your glue, do a line along the edge. Oh, missed a tab. The nice thing is, as long as you haven't actually glued it down, it's easy to go back in and do a tab. I do recommend kind of making a visual check that you've got everything folded before you start gluing, but we're gonna add a little line of glue here and all along the edge here, which is gonna let us attach our paper together. Something I like about this particular pattern is I think the creator does a really good job really indicating where you're supposed to put things, which isn't always true with certain paper crafts, and it's definitely harder if you're a newbie. While we do our folding and gluing, I will mention that our digital services department teaches classes on if you want to design your own paper crafts. They teach classes on making things like papercraft hearts and frogs. So, you know, if this is something you find you really like, there's definitely more to explore with papercraft as an art. Something nice about this pattern is anytime you have to glue, it'll be labeled with that G. So as you fold, you can keep track of those G's, and that's where you'll put a dot of glue and attach it. One of my tricks is if it's a G, you'll want to make sure it's going under something else because you don't really want to have the glue showing. As you get it cut and glued and folded, you'll notice that you can start attaching the different pieces. So here I've attached the lid to the top of the kind of cup. I've attached the straw to the dome, and now I just need to attach the dome to the cup. I think, again, this pattern does a really good job of kind of making it clear where you need to cut and glue. And then you can just glue it all down, let it dry, and you have your very own boba tea. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you'll join me for another craft soon. Bye!